There's not a soldier that goes and gets deployed to Iraq to get shot at and IED'd for 15 months out of the time to risk his life for his country just so he can come back home and control this.
But he's showing me around like different areas and stuff like that. So we get to this one area and he's, I guess, not supposed to be there because that's just not his hood.
The fact of the matter is, I don't want you to be. I'm wrong then. So you can have standards, but I can't.
To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie with y'all. I linked him a couple more times after that because
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this, I ask that you please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to click the notification bell to ensure that you get my videos as soon as I release them. All right, guys, let's get right into it.
Y'all don't really want women that make their own money because then you can't control women. You guys don't want to be providers or protectors. You guys want to be controlling and manipulating.
What?
Quite frankly, I think that was a delusional statement because there is not a man in this world that goes to work and leaves out at 5 o'clock in the morning with whatever he does to go and pick up trash cans for $22 an hour for 16 hours a day to come home with his paycheck to say, I'm going to control this. There is not a man, there is not a soldier that goes and gets deployed to Iraq to get shot at and IED'd for 15 months out of the time to risk his life for his country just so he can come back home and control this. Men have standards and we've woken up to the. Okay. The fact of the matter is, I don't want you to be. Okay. If you want me to protect and provide, because quite frankly, you would not even give me, you wouldn't even look my way if I couldn't. I should be able to have some standards of you. So if that means that you ain't popping and stripping and showing you to everybody in the world, I should not be wrong for not wanting you to be.
that's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not controlling you. I have standards for you. Now, when you tell me that, hey, I would not date that worked at McDonald's making minimum wage because he can't show me nothing or can't be nothing for me, I respect it. That's your standard. But here I come and say, hey, I would not want a woman that is going to broadcast her body that I have worked extremely hard for to have access to the freaking world. I'm wrong then. So you can have standards, but I can't. Damn! So it's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when I do it.
Man, that man just got in an argument this morning. Or I think he left his girl 2 days ago. That sounds like a man. Let me give you an example. This guy clearly has his podcast. There's a lot of shows. I've seen him probably on 3 of my reaction videos alone. I've seen his YouTube channel. He's all over the place. He's all over TikTok. He's putting in work. So he can say this. Guys are putting in the work. Exactly like he said, whatever it may be. The same guy that's working for $22 an hour, working for 16 hours. And what he said is right. If that guy's making $22 an hour, he's working 2 shifts, that combines to 44. That guy's making close to $100,000 a year to make himself high value. He doesn't do that to come home and say, I want to control you. But then while he's out, right, the woman be doing whatever, being with random guys. So his example, he said, I want to make sure she's not for the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
That's all guys ask. And guys ask for some cooperation. And these are talking points all over the internet now. You see it with guys that are staying. You see it with guys that are leaving. You see it with guys that are thinking about leaving. You see it with guys that are never leave. Guys just want cooperation. We will get it. On to the next video.
Oh my God, I was never going to tell this story, but I might as well. Y'all, if this is your sign, this is a sign to stop messing with her. For real, please. Okay, so long story short, I met this dude on Instagram. We started talking. The vibes were cool. So we had made this plan to...
I always had to say something. I'm going to say it. When a girl is using knuckles, when she talk like that, I talked like that when I was 20 years... Actually, not even. Last time I used that word, probably around 20. I probably used it once or twice. She's using that word. She may not be for the streets, but she's not for me. And I know a lot of guys feel the same way.
Get out of here.
But let me let her finish.
To meet up, get food or whatever, and just smoke and talk, right? So I ended up meeting him at his place. So like I was running late, so I had told him like just get the food for me and then I'll just eat and then we'll just do whatever, right?
Next thing I don't like is women that's weed heads.
You serious?
So I asked this man, he was going to Chick-fil-A. I asked this man to get me a Sprite, some 6-piece nugget with Polynesian sauce. When I got in that car, that man gave me a water bottle with chicken tenders. I was like, what? So we ended up eating, mind you, he's not paying me no attention at all because he's on a jail call. So like, mind you, this is like my first time.
Now you see what he did, right? And that's one thing that hood dudes do. He didn't cater to her. He got that for her. She said what? She's saying that right now for the video. She still coached her along because she was happy to be in his presence.
I'm really messing with like a hood dude, like, you know what I mean? So he on the phone with this jail call. I think I still have the recordings. If I do, I'm gonna insert it at the end. So he's on the phone, not paying me no mind, driving reckless and crazy. So he finally get off the phone, and I see that he pull up to a graveyard. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? He's like, oh, we finna roll up and smoke real quick. This is just low-key spot or whatever. I'm like, no, this is a graveyard. Like, what you got going on? Like, no, this is disrespectful. Mind you, it's like a graveyard, and right next to it's like a whole bunch of storage cabinets or whatever. So I'm just like, no, it's creepy too. Like, no. So he's like, oh, come on, you doing too much. Like, da-da-da. Mind you, boom, gets another jail call. So he's continuing to roll up. But, like, I'm not trying to, like, be in his ear, but I'm telling him, I'm like, you can't, like, I know he on the phone, but I'm like, you can't smoke here. Like, I'm not smoking here with you. Like, no, we can't smoke here, right? So he's like, man, this girl blowing my to whoever he was on the phone. So whoever in jail just think I'm just too much. I'm not even doing my makeup. I'm so flustered. So he ends up pulling off to a different spot, right? So I'm just like.
You see also what he did? He attracted emotion out of her. She's not bored.
You know what? Maybe this will be better. I haven't texted my friend yet to get me out the situation. So I'm just like, maybe this spot will be better, like, than a graveyard. So I look up from my phone and I see that this dude parking at church, and since then I was like, no, never mind. I was like, you know what? I need to abort mission. I need to leave. I need to leave immediately because there's no way you have me parked up in a church thinking that you better roll up and smoke right now, for real. So he looks over at me because I made a noise. I'm like, and he looks over at me and he was like, what? This is too much too? I'm like, I need to go home. I literally said, I need to go home. So I text my best. So he was like, chill, you doing too much, da-da-da. He was like, you know what? Let's just drive around and talk, right? So I'm in the middle of texting my best friend and I'm like, you need to get me out of the situation. I don't care what you have to say. Please just get me out of the situation. So he's like, oh, I'm just going to take you a tour of my hood, right? So he's showing me around his hood and he's showing me, like, I can't say because people are going to know, but he's showing me around like different areas and stuff like that. So we get to this one area and he's, I guess, not supposed to be there because that's just not his hood. So he pulls the seat back. He's like, I'm not supposed to. He said, hold on. He said, you're lucky I like you so much because I'm not even supposed to be in this area. He pulls back his seat and lays low in his seat. So I'm like looking around. So I follow him. I pull back my seat and I lay back down too, making sure whatever he got going on. So then when we finally get out, he pull up his seat and I pull up my seat. And by then my best friend texted me. She was like, can you please help me? My mom fell down the stairs. I told that man, I was like, I need to go. My best friend mom fell down the stairs and he took me back to my car. I felt so bad for lying, but I was just like, no, there's no way you took me to a graveyard or a church and then you took me around your hood. That was my first date with him. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie with y'all, I linked him a couple more times after that because.
You heard that? She said, I got a wake-up call. That was my wake-up call not to get with him again. She was terrified, but she linked up with him a few more times after that. What's your whole point for even telling the story if you link up with him a few more times after that? I'm still hooking up with him today. I just can't be in a car smoking with him anymore. Sound like to me, she's telling a story just to tell a story for TikTok. She's still linking with him today. Don't let him lie to you, man. She's lying. Liar! The mentality, that's what she wants. She wants that excitement. She liked that day. She was terrified, but she got excitement out of it. He's not boring to her. And guys aren't going to stay and try to portray that role. I just made a video yesterday of a guy that's getting bashed, and I pretty much showed, and it's true, that's what happened. How Tupac turned into a gangster because he was a nice guy and got stuck like that, and he actually met his demise because of it. But this is why guys end up turning that way, and guys shouldn't be that way. But still, women want that, and that's what creates women to be for the streets naturally. And guys are just done. But all I know is guys are checking out because it's definitely more to life than dealing with that. Just the way. Passport, bro. Passport. No.
You guys don't want to be providers or protectors. You guys want to be controlling and manipulating.